Of course, it
It
will be ugly.
it goes. It'll go off as soon as it's done. It's actually broadcasting live as we talk.
Oh crap!
I'm sorry to say. But anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and sit down to create a horror thing. Horror. I cannot say that word. I'm sorry. A scary story thing using fate.
That set up the atmosphere perfectly. A scary game thing.
Yeah, I can.
Scary
I
game
can't
thing.
say that word properly. Sorry.
Aren't you like an English teacher or something like that?
Yes, I am. But every time I say that word, it's really too close to a certain other word.
But he's been Japanized too much, so he can't say it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, everybody has some words they can't say. I've found. Anyway, so character creation for Fate, we're going to start with the setting. I was going to go ahead and try to do it on a very one-shot thing, so a very focused. I was going to do it on starting with a murder mystery, with you guys
Sounds good.
investigating in some form or manner. So
We go from there and see where it leads.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you the specifics of the murder just yet. Give me a couple days will actually let me get a good timeline to go that I can use based off your aspects. Anyway, so do you have a preference for what city to have this in? Or what kind of?
Nah.
Okay. Yvonne, do you have a preference?
Say that again, please. I didn't
Do you have a
quite catch
preference?
it.
Do you have a preference for a specific city that this occurs in? Or general region like a port city, colder, warmer?
Well, I live by
Maybe
the sea, so
countryside.
Huh?
being away from the sea is weird for me. But I can. That's about my whole thing, so I don't care really.
Okay. And Ari, what was yours? You started.
I was thinking of maybe a countryside,
Countryside.
not a big city.
Not a big city. Actually, I could do theirs. I could set it in Fukushima. There's a core of a city type area where it looks like a more modern city, but most of this area is farms and mountains. So, or I could just model it off of Fukushima, whether it is or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to suggest America just because that gives me cosmopolitan. There's a lot more variety. It's a lot of more heterogeneous population in America than some other places.
We all have connection points with that one to television or movies or whatever, so it's easy.
Yeah, I was actually gonna suggest going to the United States because of that reason.
So I'm going to say an American smallish city, not quite town, somewhere between. Maybe 10,000 people, 15,000 people, but nothing more than that. That's actually a fairly rural community nowadays, isn't it?
10,000 people? That's
Yeah.
Slash village.
Yeah.
So mine would just
Ari sounds like he has something offline to deal with. Okay, never mind. But American mountain town. Yep. Actually, come to think of it, even Moab, Utah gets up to a rather large population in the summer with all the tourists. Okay. So, mountain town. I think from there, I've got the impending issue is going to be murder. So, murder most foul.
yeah.
Sounds like a good aspect. I don't think we're going to need as much of a of a coming threat so much since this is a one-shot. So we'll go towards making characters. Do you guys have ideas on what kind of characters you want to play? Some kind of investigator, whether it ranges from civilian sleuth to PI.
I think it'd be interesting to play cops.
Cops, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's investigating a murder, and I think it's interesting the play of the fact that if there's something weird or there's something weird, it's like, what the fuck do you do when your suspect can fly or whatever?
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, or what do you do when it looks like your suspect can fly? It's like, well, that's either impossible or we need a new rule book.
So I'm assuming you're not going to want your character at least to have any sort of supernatural connection or ability yourself. I'm assuming very not
Mundane.
because mundane to minor abilities and not connected to any community at all, because it's easier to do horror when your character doesn't have the knowledge of what's going on.
I could do a medical side guy, doctor or examiner or something.
Forensic scientists.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe.
The,
But if it's a small place, they might not have it, so it's just a medical examiner.
yeah, medical examiner works. Science guy, basically, though.
So, would that be like, would he be in the lab or whatever? Like, would that be his usual, like, workplace?
The lab would be his usual. The county morgue would be the usual workplace. Medical examiner would wear a lot of hats in a small town.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, since we are just two people, it would be interesting to be able to like go to places together. So maybe he could be some, in practical terms, something like Scully in like the X-Files, where he can deal with the I don't know, autopsy or whatever, but he also goes to crime scenes and whatnot.
Right.
Mostly so it isn't just me
I'm not
playing solo
I'm
and
not
him
thinking,
playing solo.
right. I'm not thinking realistic medical examiner or CSI at all. I'm more thinking about the music and flashing lights or magic CSIs you get on the CSI TV show.
Yeah, no, but I mean.
But then again, it's not my character; it's Ari's character, and we're talking over him. Sorry.
Yeah, but we talk about like a smallish town, so
Yes.
maybe like you guys said, the medical examiner wears many hats. So maybe when there is an autopsy to be performed, he's the one who does it, but he also not quite patrols, but like maybe him and the detective go like do investigations together or something like that.
Of course.
Yeah, I think mostly for the gameplay, so we don't have to go solo constantly.
No.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Take the medical examiner.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then I play what would be appropriate. I don't know how police works in the U.S. The sheriff or
it's different.
the detective.
It's different in different places. Small town, it might very well be a sheriff rather than a police department. But when you get into 10 to 15,000 people, I think you're looking at more.
Well, would take the sheriff and I'm the examiner, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Ripper Street, the TV show.
Yeah. We can
No,
even make it a sheriff, though. By the way, it's easy to make it a sheriff. American jurisdictional issues are different from state to state. It's different from what some places might decide that this city is too small to have a police department. Let the sheriff handle it.
Yeah.
The lawman.
Well, like you said, there are some places that get a lot of people during the summer or whatnot. So maybe it's one of those cities that maybe during summer they get like temporary workers to deal with all the tourists, but during the winter there's just like it's a very
Skeleton crew.
peaceful
Yeah.
place. Yeah, so like the sheriff and maybe a secretary and a couple more people who basically put tickets for speeding, and it's a very peaceful place, and then there is a murder.
Yeah. Some basic issues. Sheriff usually takes care of a county. The sheriff's office takes care of a full county. The police department takes care of a city.
Okay.
That's that's really the basic nature of it. I know a little bit about all the different jurisdictions, but most of them aren't of a concern to us, so they won't show up.
We can make a county though. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure how counties work, but could there be like a central like population, which is this town, and then like some?
A county is it depends. It might have several small towns, or it might have one big town.
Well,
like
if we just settle that they are taking care of an area, but well, who knows how big the area is? It's not a matter of this scope anyway. So it's a small place.
Yeah. Like we can say there's like a urban area that it's like that, like 10,000 or 15,000 people, and then there is some rural area around where there are like some households up in the mountains or in the forest or whatnot.
Yeah, and then you have the issue that sheriffs are elected. The deputies are hired, but the sheriffs are elected.
So it's a political game.
Yep. If there's anything bad that goes on in the city, especially one that depends a lot on tourist funds, and might have a lot of fairly wealthy people that live there occasionally, anything bad happens is likely to have a heavy impact on the sheriff's department. So, police chiefs are hired and promoted. Sheriffs are elected.
Yeah. Well, not too sure how to deal with that. Like, how often do they go through elections?
I don't really know. I've mostly lived in larger cities in my life, so it's not come up.
Could we say unless we find an interesting?
It's a matter of unless we find it interesting, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't,
like we can say it's like the middle of the term, so it's not going to be relevant until 2 or 3 years.
This is the glory of fate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure how to deal with that, so maybe we can hand wave it a little bit.
We're probably going to hand wave it a little bit. I mean, we can leave it as nebulous political issues.
By the way, are we doing core or accelerated?
Are we doing what?
Core or accelerated?
We're doing core. I think.
Core.
Because I wanted to do core because that's the focus with the toolkit suggestions.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it could definitely do accelerated, but core, it's a little bit, Okay.
Yeah, more robust.
So, do you want to be a sheriff, or do you want to be the sheriff, or do you want to be like a deputy? Because that's something too.
Well, I think maybe it makes more sense to be the sheriff as like a status thing, because if I'm going to be running around with the medical examiner.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so we've got a sheriff and a medical examiner. Let's do this one at a time first. Ari, we'll start with you to do the what do you call it? The high concept, the trouble, and I have my laptop over here and I'm typing stuff out as we're talking.
Well, I have this idea of medical examiner who's seen too much dying.
That sounds like a definitely a good aspect. I'm not medical examiner.
Almost a high aspect and a trouble.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a trouble. Has seen too much dying was definitely a good trouble. And then medical.
Maybe I split it. Maybe it's a cynical medical examiner, and then the trouble is, I've seen too much dying.
That's actually very glorious. I picked up that speech from Anne. Avon knows Anne.
Sorry, what?
One of my regular gaming groups uses the phrase "that's glorious" a lot, and I apparently have picked it up. Okay, I've seen too much dying. Okay. And, okay, we'll do Iban's high concept then.
So I was thinking maybe interesting to have like someone who has had mental issues at some point. Just because
Great.
I think it would be very interesting to not like he's full-blown schizophrenic or something like that, but you know, the whole thing of okay, so I'm seeing clues and these are suggesting something that is impossible, and I don't know what the fuck to make of it. So I don't know how to make that work with a sheriff though, because it seems like the kind of issue that would be.
Well, that is something that comes up in fiction a lot. Is the sheriff who has a checkered past that maybe his constituency didn't know as much about when they elected. Because a lot of people can pass very, very well or compensate very well for mental issues and never actually reveal them.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'm not. I'm not sure how to frame it. Like, I was thinking maybe he had to take a few months off at some point.
Okay, well,
and like he's back and it's supposed to be like in the past and it's fixed. Another option could be him suffering PTSD or something like that.
Right. Well, let's see. You could say a haunted sheriff. You could use the adjective haunted. That doesn't necessarily mean you are actually legitimately haunted by a ghost. It could just mean that you have a lot of emotions in your backstory, or a lot of history that you've had, stuff that comes up, bubbling up occasionally. Do you have a particular anything other way to describe it? Maybe an ethnicity or something for your sheriff?
I hadn't thought about that, to be honest, but
you can also
be interesting.
Yeah, you could also do the high concept based off something from the past, like combat veteran.
Yeah, that's an option. That would go with the whole PTSD thing.
Yeah, so you could say that would also be a thing, because if your character got some medals in Iraq or Afghanistan, came over, that would be something that would help you get elected.
So how could we phrase that? Like vet sheriff? No, that's too short.
A haunted war veteran, or whatever, or war veteran might be. War veteran sheriff, or something. War hero sheriff, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
war hero. That sounds good.
Yeah, and there is like the typical scene where there is like, oh, you don't know what I had to do in the war and that kind of shit. So, war hero sheriff.
Yep, I just typed that myself too. I just have a laptop, so the keyboard's a lot.
I'm using an online sheet on
the Google Docs. Are you using
on Mythweavers, but I can't do anything else.
Oh,
let me.
Mythweavers. I haven't been on Mythweavers in a long time.
Yeah, I like that. I'm very lazy, so they allow me to do stuff.
Right. Okay. Now, okay. The trouble is that you've seen things in the past. You could haunted by the past. Things come bubbling up. I don't know if you can see it like that. What?
That's the link to the.
Oh, okay. Okay. They've altered the way chat works. Okay, I see. Used to be
Right.
that didn't show up. Okay, yeah, I can see where it is. Okay, I can see.
Does it show it for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. Well, then you can check it. So,
I'm
the
still
trouble.
typing up my own notes so that I can look at it. But anyway, go on.
Trouble.
Toil and trouble. Bubble.
I'm trying to think of a wordplay with post-traumatic stress disorder and not quite post.
Well, if you want to use the old terms for it, PTSD is rather modern. We used to call it used to be called combat fatigue or shell shock.
Yeah. No, I was thinking like post-traumatic stress disorder implies that the trauma is past, which is true, but like a wordplay with post, but I can't think of anything. So.
Oh, I see what you want. Something traumatic stress disorder. You want to do a pun.
Yeah, not quite post PTSD, but that sounds weird.
Post PTSD. Recovering PTSD. Post traumatic stress disorder. That's terrible to laugh about. That's terrible to laugh about. That's a real problem. But
is this a high concept of trouble?
The high concept is war hero sheriff.
So the trouble could be, yeah, well,
I
trying
think
to cope
haunted,
with the trauma.
haunted fits here, like is
haunted, okay,
or not playing with the war hero thing.
Yeah.
Not at peace with my past or something like that.
Oh, that's actually
the things I've done.
The things I've done. Things I've done, not at peace with my past. Both are good. Which
I like not at peace because it's a wordplay with war hero.
Yeah.
And the way I create fate characters is to go full cheese. Everything has to be cheesy.
Right. Okay. So now the next part is the phase trio, which is the story from your past with a story with you, like one of the first stories with you as medical examiner, with you as the sheriff. At some point, you two will have work together on this. Since there's only 2 players, you'll both be encountering on the last 2 aspects are about. You'll have both worked together. So actually, since it's just the 2 of you, we can come up with the first case you worked together. Let's say that.
Yeah, I was thinking, were we friends before we had to work together?
Good question.
No, I don't see that. No.
Okay. I mean, one of the ideas I had was, can medical examiners reset stuff, like how do you say it in English? Write receipts for medicine?
They are usually a full PhD, so yes.
Because maybe, like, if we knew each other when he came back from the war, like at the beginning, he went to this guy he knew, like a friend, for some like sleeping pills
if we knew from childhood, and I was here before, and when you came back from your traumatic experiences of the La Guerre, I proposed to you that you could come to this smaller place where you could get your life
Yeah,
back
like
in order, and you could take the
maybe we knew
sheriff's
each other
post
from.
from the
Maybe we
childhood.
aren't from here. We are from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
That
sounds fun.
works. That happens a fair amount.
So,
Not as much as
okay,
you think, but
our third aspect should be like our own story, right?
yeah, focus. Well, you decided. You tell about how you. We're going to tell the story of your guys' first case in these next three aspects. So the first one. At first, we're going to talk. Well, I guess I'll start with Iban. Go ahead and say how since you're the sheriff, you would have gotten the call first. How did the first case you worked together with your
Yeah,
friend?
should that be like my question? Should that be the third aspect or the fourth one?
That should be the third one.
Okay, yeah, I get confused with Dresden. It always confuses me.
Yeah, Dresden adds, I think,
Cuba.
another two phases. So you have
All right.
7 instead of 5.
So the first one,
Hey, we could be doing, I mean, I am doing this in my setting, so it could be worse. I could be doing Divine Blood, and we have 10 aspects to deal with.
um, so how does one go about becoming a sheriff? Like, because if I'm an outsider to this town, do I just like show up and
You become a resident of the town. You
yeah.
probably ended up getting a job in the police department, the sheriff's department anyway. And at some point, you run for sheriffs. You might not have had a job with the sheriff's department. You might have had a job somewhere else. But it might have gone around that you were this war hero, and somebody might have suggested you run, and you got elected.
Because one option I was thinking is maybe I was working as a deputy or something like that,
Okay.
and something happened to the old sheriff. Like maybe he was an old guy and
Keeled over with a heart attack.
well, I was thinking maybe like he got shot, not lethal, not lethally, but he got shot in a robbery or something like that, and me and
Retired?
Ari's character like stepped up to it, and we caught the robbers, and the sheriff retired, and that sort of led naturally to me becoming sheriff.
Because it's you and Ari took charge after the sheriff got shot of the situation. Yeah. And so for continuity's sake, the population just voted you in because that just was a continuation of the way things were going.
Yeah, and maybe like, I mean, the sheriff gets shot in this otherwise quite peaceful place, and this guy who's kind of an outsider and the medical examiner like catch the perpetrator, and then like there's like a newspaper article and it comes out that he has a couple medals or whatever from the war, and it's like, oh, he's a hero again, and it's like,
yeah, because okay. if I was here, I could vouch for you that you could help, and then we did something that helped, and we got the guy,
right,
or girl, or whatever.
Yeah, or rabid beast or something.
Or whatever.
Well, do you have an aspect coming from that, like you could say, stepped up to responsibility is one?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe something with the Call of Duty, just to keep going on the war stuff.
Call of Duty sounds good. Okay.
I was thinking like never. What's the word? Unheed? Is that a word?
What's? Go ahead, type it.
Yeah. You know, that's
unheeded. Call it unheeded. That means you didn't pay attention to it.
So, well, yeah.
If you take off the then it's heeded. And
yeah.
You pay attention to it.
Can you make a verb of that though, instead of?
It is a verb.
Yeah, well, it's working as an adjective there.
Okay. Well, yeah, heated. You would have a heated call of. You would have an unheated call of duty, would mean
Yeah,
you
like I
were
was thinking like never unhit the Call of Duty, but you can say the other way around and
never
say,
ignore. That would be, if you want it that way, you would say never ignore.
yeah, well, okay, never ignore the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's like a very
Or,
comparable aspect.
yeah, and there are probably better verbs that, off the top of my head, ignores the one that comes up.
Well, or we can just make it the other way around, say always hit the Call of Duty and that's it.
Always, yeah, actually, that was work. Always heed the Call of Duty. That is actually a phrase. That is actually a saying.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Always heed the call. Well, always heed. The always heed part is a phrase. Is a stock phrase. I should have thought of that to begin with. Okay. Let's see. Ari, do you have one for your third aspect? As you vouched for him and such like that. And maybe you can come up with more of the details of what happened, add your own aspects to the story.
Yeah, so I was thinking about something like, I know what the town needs.
Which is a really, really nice aspect. Okay. Well, now we're up to the fourth aspect. Well, Ari, do you have an idea for what the next phase of the story was after you guys stepped up and started hunting the thing? Do you have an idea of what the robber or the thief was? Any particular identities or anything?
Naturally, it was an outsider.
And naturally, it was an outsider. Is that an aspect?
That could be an aspect.
That's a very yeah. I'm gonna finish that sentence, but that's a very comparable aspect. It's easy to compare that one.
Okay, so naturally, it was an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And Vaughn, you're fourth.
I'm thinking this should relate to Ari's character, like I can always rely on whatever his name is or something like that. Or
we haven't come
do you have
up.
an idea for your character's name, Ari? Or not yet?
Sorry, repeat.
Do you have an idea for your character's name?
Yeah, I have. I have Mulholland Praise or Holly.
Holly. Well, maybe I can always rely on Holly, or Holly never fails me.
You wish.
Well, I was thinking like even after the stuff with the robbery and I became sheriff, like I was still very much dealing with the PTSD and maybe that's an idea like maybe.
Yeah, I did give you reason to go forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was thinking your character not only did kind of following on the I know what the city needs. Not only did he give like very obvious help, like okay, you can take these pills and they will help you sleep, but he also was a bit more.
Maybe try to make it a bit wider instead of just me. Maybe it could go against other people too, like something about trusting people. People will help me.
I wanted to tie it to you because, like, to tie the characters together.
Yeah, it is a good idea to have one aspect that has the name of another character. For one thing, it gives you a benefit on what do you call it? helping that character. But
Well, following the war metaphors, Holly is my body.
Ollie,
Holly is his
yeah.
name, right?
Mulholland
Is
praise.
Holly is my body.
could you type that, please,
Are you talking to me or to him?
to him for his name?
Yeah. You are muted.
Yeah, I think he did that on purpose.
I'm muted. Yeah. sorry, guys.
Okay.
So, Mulholland.
Oh, Mulholland. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you type it, please? Because I'm gonna forget it.
No, I'm on the mobile, so it's a bit tricky for me to go typing.
Okay. Yeah.
So Mulholland praise, 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 like praise the Lord,
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
and it's Holly for short.
Holly like that? Like,
Holly, Holly,
okay.
not holy, Holly, not holy praise.
Yeah, that's. But you said Holly, right?
Holly, yeah.
I'm trying to remember how to spell Mulholland. I have to look it up.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Holly is my body. Because it's
Here we go.
like a metaphor to the body system too. So
Ollie's
there you
my
go.
bud. Okay.
I love how easy it is to make a character in Fate and how much of a personality they get very quickly.
Yeah.
How different they are. Like I'm playing in a campaign right now that it's about like pirates, and my pirate is a swashbuckling, foul-mouthed wife seducer.
Okay. So, Yvonne, let's see. Do you have a fifth aspect? Since I'm kind of going off, we'll do the fifth and last one right now.
Mm. I'm not sure. Should the fifth one be about the first case, or should it be like maybe I've been in office for a while now, like a year and a half or 2 years?
It's your option. Typically, what their suggestion is for the phase trio is to deal with one of your first stories and make them all about the same story. But that is a suggestion. They're very clear that it's up to you. It's very much what you think best fits. So, what do you think? Settled into the town or something like that?
Yeah. Let me think about it, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
We'll go to Ari then. Ari, do you have an idea for your fifth aspect?
Maybe it should be something about what I'm prepared to do for. Something maybe bad things should be buried.
Bad things should be buried. Okay, that is very evocative. Especially about it indicates that you're willing to keep secrets. Okay, that was very quick. Iban, any particular? I'm sorry, that didn't give you as much time as I thought.
Yeah. I'm still unsure how to go about it.
Go ahead and try to describe what you're talking about. You're talking about a couple years down the run. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think he'd be a decent sheriff. Like I was thinking something like an aspect that reflects that he's quite respected in the community. Like people are like, well, he's a good sheriff. He does a good job. He's kind and he breaks up fights when they occur, which is then usually the worst thing that happens in this place.
Right. So, well-respected or pillar of the community.
Uh, yeah, something like along those lines. I'm going to try to think of something war related again, just to
No. But
like
go on.
in the I mean yeah, in the words, not in the meaning.
Right, right, right. Pillar of the community is a common phrase in American English, at least, probably English in general. But that's me suggesting it. If you have a better phrasing, that is kind of what you're saying is what we would
Yeah,
call.
yeah, yeah. I'm just finicking with the phrasing, but
Yeah.
if I can think of anything else, I'll go with that. Just give me a couple seconds.
Okay. Now, let's see. While you're thinking of that, I'm going to go ahead before we get to skills and stunts. Some of the things I am thinking of doing. Some of the suggestions for Fate Horror is to alter some of the character creation. I'm not going to do that because I'd like to see making things terrifying without altering usually some of the stuff that makes things terrifying without altering the character creation. But I am going to be doing things like we're usually in a usual Fate game, a hallway would be one zone, and you can cross it in one motion without having to roll or anything. In a horror thing, every hallway is going to be in smaller, 2 or 3 zones. So that's going to reflect the thing that time is much more precious. Things are going to be happening much quicker, whereas before, like a story would give you enough time to run down the hallway before anything serious happens. You might have to struggle to get down that hallway in the horror situation. Difficulties to succeed are going to be higher, so you might have to succeed at cost a lot. And another thing I'm going to do is what's called low-powered aspects, which is you can only get a +2 once on an action. You can use
So
other aspects to re-roll. Right. You can use other aspects to re-roll as long as you have fate points and aspects that fit. But you can only get +2 once.
Yeah, yeah, that's going to affect things quite a lot. That's an interesting twist to the mechanics.
That is actually from the Fate Toolkit. It's called low-powered aspects.
Yeah. Okay.
They do suggest that it's possible to take a stunt that lets you get out of that occasionally. Let me see if I can find their example. Where is it? That's not what I want. It's social conflict. Aspects. There you are. One of their example things is a stunt called Keen Senses. When you invoke aspects on a notice roll, you can invoke any number of aspects provided you have the fate points to cover the cost. So you could have a stunt that gives you the ability to get +2 more than once on a particular type of task. But just that one task per stunt. And you probably don't want to spend all your stunts on that. But it is to heighten. Go on.
Sorry. How is the phrase? I think it's from the Bible that says like transform your swords into plows.
Hammer your swords into plowshares, I believe, is one of the translations.
Hammer is perfect there. I think I'm gonna go with something like that for the aspect, the 5th one. It's like a sword hammered into a plowshare.
A sword hammered into a plowshare. Okay.
Yeah, because the whole PTSD. I think that's a perfect aspect. I'm proud of myself.
That's good. Okay. So we are now we're on to skills and stunts.
Yeah.
So you got 1 at +4, 2 at +3, 3 at +2, and 4 at +1. And I know I messed up the fingers there a little bit, but okay. To use lore, lore is going to be what you're going to need for. You don't necessarily need a high lore unless you want it to be the most shining thing about your medical examiner. You could also instead have a higher will. That works just as well. But a lore is going to be what's going to be the skill for using your medicine, and using it for healing and such is going to be if you want to use lore to do medicine and heal stuff, that is going to be a stunt, because that is one of their example stunts. Let's close Facebook so I stop getting that. So let's go ahead. What do you guys want as your +4 skills? What do you want to be your shining skill?
I think I should have it at the lore, but I think it's gonna be the willpower.
The willpower?
Yeah, because I can take it. You know, I've seen it. You know,
Yeah.
oh, disemboweled. Yeah, whatever.
Well, you do realize that a low lore or a high lore does not necessarily mean you're unskilled. It just means how often that comes up in the story. Your aspect of medical examiner already makes you better at I'm already going to be taking that to do somewhat reduced difficulties on something. I basically look at the aspects when I'm deciding what a difficulty is going to be. And I think, should this task be difficult for a sheriff? Should this task be difficult for a medical examiner? Aside from there. Anyway.
I'm not sure about my sheriff is still unnamed.
Yeah. I know the obvious one.
The man with no name.
Yeah. The man with no name. Okay, let's see. The obvious ones, of course, are the, well, the shoot, but you've probably been not using your gun for a while, so that's not as likely to be a case in your situation.
Yeah. I was thinking the character will probably be still physical, like relatively physical. He is
raw inherent health or good exercise and keeping in shape.
Yeah, I think like he probably like. Oh.
That's okay. Page 97 has the default list. The fake core has the default list, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking he's basically a good soldier that has transitioned into his position. So he probably has decent investigation, but his skill at both physical and some fighting abilities too, he should have.
Maybe presence.
I'm not sure how to do it.
Maybe is it presence? No, it's not presence. Presence is a different game. Well, there are the social ones, which is like empathy, which is reading people. Provoke, which is using intimidation or stuff like that. Rapport, which is being nice with people, getting along with people. And then, of course, deceive, though that doesn't seem to fit. There's investigate. There's an investigate skill.
Yeah. That should be.
That should you have, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he will have it the highest.
There is notice. That's just wrong.
I'll have that at 3.
Notice is
Because I
that
need to notice things.
yeah.
I'm thinking I might go with fight.
Fight? Okay.
Yeah, like that's how he's kept himself fit partly. Like maybe he,
Yeah. Martial arts or
yeah, basically he joined, or maybe he even teaches some martial arts.
okay.
Maybe just dirty fighting.
Well, I mean, not quite, but maybe for the giggles.
Ari, you said you had some at +3 already. Did you do what are those?
Sorry, repeat.
You said you already had some skills chosen for +3.
Yeah, I got willpower at 4, lore and notice at 3. Lore medical.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
I'm looking at my level 2s now.
Okay.
Just lost my bloody list.
Let's see. Iban, some things I would suggest. Physique makes you physique it makes you tougher. Athletics is good for defense. Rapport and empathy would be very good for a sheriff who gets along with his people.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
And
shoot
investigate, of course.
will probably be at +2.
What was it?
Shoot will probably be at +2.
Physique. Okay.
Shoot, I said. Physique maybe at +3.
Physique at +3. What were you putting at +2?
It said shoot.
Shoot. Got it. Yeah. Okay. What was your other +3?
I'm trying to think about it. Either some sort of social skill, or maybe the investigate.
Well, since you've got, well, you've got respect, I would either the investigate or maybe empathy. Empathy is good for investigation too. That's where you can tell whether someone's lying, stuff like that. Tell whether someone's nervous.
Yeah. Thinking.
Again, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just sort of
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any particular +2s while Ivan is thinking? Ari?
I have for 2 points I have resources and provoke.
Oh. Okay. Resources and provoke.
I'm not a nice guy when it comes to it.
I'm trying. There is a television show from the '60s that had the guy from An Odd Couple as a medical examiner. He was very aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I have a contact at 2 as well.
What was that? Contacts.
Contact as 2.
Yeah, that makes sense since you're known around the town.
Yeah, I know some. Yeah, but I stay away, so I'm not having it as higher anymore.
Yeah.
And then as 1 empathy, athletics, rapport.
Empathy +1.
Yeah,
It's not poor.
athletics +1.
It's actually
rapport
average,
plus.
to be fair, but because average is +0, poor is at -1.
Yeah, +1 at the level of +1.
Okay.
Should I? Maybe I take the shoot at +1 too. So.
It is a rural area. Most people know how to shoot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. With a shotgun or something. Yeah.
I think my phone's ringtone for Holly is going to be I shot the sheriff because once
Yeah.
you know something wasn't anything important, but that's it. Like he shot me in the ass with backshot.
That's an interesting piece of history, yeah. Okay. I need to lose weight.
What social skills would be appropriate?
If you want to be the nice guy, rapport and
rapport, right?
rapport.
Because I'm not the nice guy. You gotta be the nice guy.
You also got elected, so you should probably have a decent rapport.
Yeah.
I might also suggest getting will at +2, unless you really want to heighten the mental trauma, because will is going to improve your mental stress track.
Well, it doesn't make a difference between +2 and +1 as far as stress goes.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
No, actually, I had forgotten about will, so I put it in because you said so. Thinking, oh yeah, I might need that. Maybe I don't need fight to be that high. Maybe I should move investigate. Okay, as of right now, I had fight at +4, physique and investigate at +3, shoot, empathy, and rapport at +2, drive, burglary, deceit, and will.
I can't type that fast. Okay, what was the +2? I got shoot +2.
Empathy.
And
rapport.
It's French-based, so you don't actually say the T.
Rapport. All right.
It's originally a French word, so that T does not get said.
And drive, deceit, burglary, and will at +1.
Drive, deceit, burglary. Good, interesting. Burglary.
Yeah, I thought like, burglaries. Yeah. Maybe I was thinking like as a way of investigation, but that's what investigate is for.
Well, burglary can be used that way too. Plus, cops do use burglars' tricks sometimes. Breaking into things, and actually, you would use burglary when you're scouting. You would use burglary type stuff when you're scouting in the military. So. Nobody has any stealth, but that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I should go with burglary or stealth.
Okay.
I might change it.
Okay.
Take stealth.
At +1, that's kind of useless.
Oh, it depends.
It is. +1 is. I don't know.
Well, actually, +1
does make a difference.
+1 in fate is a fairly significant difference.
And that is true. Okay. So should we move on to a stance?
Okay. Ari, I do not have your last two +1s. I have empathy and shoot.
My +2 +1s. Empathy, athletics, rapport, and shoot.
Athletics and rapport.
Rapport and shoot.
Those were the two I didn't have. Okay. So you're a slightly nice guy when you want.
Yeah, well, nah.
But you have, yeah. Anyway, okay. And Iban's still unnamed sheriff is fight +4, physique +3, investigate +3, shoot +2, empathy +2, rapport +2, drive +1, deceit +1, burglary +1, will +1.
Yep.
Okay. Now we can move on to stunts. Do you have any particular tricks you want to think of? You know, the typical stunt is get a +2 to a particular task. Use a skill for a task that would not be normally, for an action it would not be normally used for, like use burglary to attack. Or Ignore the rules in some small way. Like in this case, be able to use more than one aspect to get a +2 on a particular task.
I could have something on the notice that has to do with dead bodies. When I see dead bodies, I'm calm and collected, and I can be very observative.
Observant.
Yeah, when there is dead around.
Autopsy. Coroner's eye.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Coroner's eye.
Do you want that to just be a flat +2 when examining a dead body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
What's that? What's happening with that laugh?
We don't want to know.
That was a particular characteristic falling within my plot, my pre-existing plot.
You're welcome.
Okay. Iban, do you have a particular idea, or Ari, do you have any other ideas?
I thought about something that allows me to use some other skill instead of athletics, since I haven't gotten athletics and I just realized.
Okay. What do you want a different defense skill other than athletics? Maybe you can use empathy to defend because you can read their body movements.
Well, I mean, actually, for fighting, like hand to hand, like I should be able to use fight, right?
Yeah, fight, I believe, is already being able to be used on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got defense and attack.
No, I was thinking maybe
it wouldn't be defending against ranged attacks is where your issue is. But I don't know.
Yeah, like physique for instead of athletics, but how in what context? Because it needs a context. You cannot just do.
Just a flesh wound.
Well, I was thinking more along the line like it's part of the military training, like he's conditioned to.
Oh, muscle memory.
Oh, that's a good one. So, what would be the effect of that?
Allow you to use physique to defend against ranged attacks.
Right. Can use physique to.
Okay. So your body just moves on its own. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Investigate instead of notice because I realized that I don't have that skill either.
Investigate instead of notice to do what?
I'm thinking like I can pick up on the details. So when I walk in a room, I can instead of because that's the difference between investigate and notice, right?
Oh, yeah. You mean you can use investigate to replace passive notice.
Yeah. But
to notice what? Clues or things unusual in the environment, stuff like that?
Okay, well, let me. Did you see the link I posted?
Evil Hat core stunts?
Yeah, it's like a collection of a bunch of stunts published in different things.
Yes, okay, where are you looking at?
I'm looking at the whole thing, seeing if there's anything.
Let me look up it. Oh, this is a very nice thing. Okay.
Okay, I have. I think I'll get Lie Whisperer.
Oh, do remember you're going to need a medicine scholar healer so you can do healing with lore. What was your thing again? Go ahead. repeat that, please?
Lie Whisperer.
Lie Whisperer.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is that going to be a +2 to empathy to detect lies?
No, that's actually... Well, it could be used that way too, I think.
Well, no, a +2 is rather boring if you have a better way to do it. A +2 is fine, normal for some things, but I tend to like more colorful stunts than just, you get a +2. So what was your idea originally?
Yeah, but the +2 is okay, but it's kind of boring, kind of flat out, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is just a +2.
It is just a +2 on the rules, yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of other ones here. The inner eye sees the truth. That one's not going to be as useful because they have to have a low defend.
I'll just go with the +2.
Okay.
That's okay. And then strength from determination.
What's
so
that?
I use will when I need to use power, strength.
Oh.
I just duke it out.
Tough it out, yeah.
Toughing it out. And then I need one for I'm going to be dropping one refresh.
Yeah, you can get another one by dropping one of your 3 refresh.
Yeah. So take the lower and check the good one from there.
What was the name of that last one? Let's see.
Strength from determination.
Strength from determination.
From determination, yeah.
I see it. Okay. Oh, look, he's turning green.
Me? But you're green, right?
Yes, my name is green. I was just thinking the whole adrenaline thing and the older Incredible Hulk where he wanted super adrenaline. That was the origin.
Well, for lore stunts, I could take the easy one as criminology.
Criminology? Okay.
Mm.
I am going to let you kind of do healing stuff with the having the aspect of medical examiner because that implies medical doctor as well. Representing. Okay. What was the last one? It was criminology. That was for investigate or lore?
Or specialty.
Lore specialty. Okay. Specialist. Okay. You know, there is a forensic medicine one there.
There was? Or maybe that's in the core book.
No, it's okay. It's in Spirit of a Century. It's you can.
No, I'm just using the core book here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at the link Ari posted, which has 100 different stunts or so.
I posted that.
You can use
one.
Forensic medicine. You can use lore in place of investigate when the subject involves medical science.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Okay. And your refresh is going to be 2 with that.
Yep.
+2 to overcome when examining a dead body. Wow, you are very good at examining dead bodies.
Oh yeah.
You got a +6.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that gives you 4 with a refresh of 2. We're on to Yvonne.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm still trying to think of the one with investigate to notice things.
Okay, let me see what we senses. Let's see, scene of the crime.
Yeah, I have a name for it if it's worth anything. Like
What
an
is
eye
your-
for the an eye for the detail. Something like he can quickly notice things.
Yep. Okay.
But how that works mechanically, that's where the issue comes. Because obviously, you
Actually,
cannot say
um,
it.
just a
Yeah.
moment. They have, funnily enough, they have in your page they have an example stunt scene of the crime and an example stunt eye for detail. Scene of the crime does what you want. We can simply rename it eye for detail since you prefer.
Oh, I missed that one.
It basically it takes you a matter of seconds for you to use investigate rather than having to take a few minutes. In this game,
Yeah.
that might be useful. That'll be actually fairly useful since I'm going to be making things of urgent matter.
Yeah. That, however, is about a place where I was. Yeah, that's the issue. I wanted it to be more broad, so it has to be more limited in some other aspect.
Right. Okay. So you don't want. Oh, what it has changed since you were last there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Matter of seconds to notice things out of place.
All right. Yeah, out of place sounds okay.
And I'll still call it eye for detail.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good name. So.
One of the suggestions on stunts is to pretty much imagine them as aspects that just have very specific suggested uses.
Yeah, yeah. So can you investigate instead of notice to pick up things out of place?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the same thing they said. It's like when it takes you a matter of seconds to use investigate to determine what is out of place. That's the same thing as using notice. Notice takes a couple seconds or 1 or 2 seconds, and investigate takes some time. So having it where you use investigate instead of notice to determine things out of place, that's great. You have one more free stunt.
I read that apparently, how do you say this? Balls. It's only coming to me torturing, but you don't torture suspects. You
Interrogation.
Yeah, interrogation. So apparently interrogation goes with provoke, and I have no provoke, so maybe I should do something about that.
Actually, you could probably do a one so that you could use rapport instead.
Okay, so
That's the good cop routine.
I have the bad cop routine.
Actually, that's a
great.
good stunt.
So I can
The good cop, well, if you could say the good cop routine, you would be basically you could use rapport instead of provoke to do interrogation.
All right.
That makes sense.
Good go. How do you spell routine?
ROUTI.
English. Yeah. Can use rapport instead of provoke for interrogation.
people feel comfortable with you, so they just tend to reveal things that they otherwise wouldn't.
Yep. I'm feeling tempted to get another one for the one refresh.
To be perfectly honest, having low refresh is a suggested thing for horror type settings. Granted, I'm
Go for it then.
not actually taking away your refresh. I'm letting you get an extra stunt. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should get something for empathy or for investigate to make it better.
Okay, let's see what they have for investigate. Or was it? What were you looking at? Investigate.
Yep.
Another investigate. Let's see.
It feels
There's
appropriate. I could go for shooting too, but I don't know.
You were a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or physique to break down doors and stuff. I don't know. Or extra health. Is there something for breaking down doors?
I recall there is something straight.
Oh, there's Herculean strength, which is not listed anywhere. I think Herculean strength just lets you use +2, gives you a +2 to strength overcomes. Let's see.
Maybe something related to like +2 at shooting when used, and then the limitation would be something to do with fulfilling my duty or something like that, which ties well with the aspect of how always heed the Call of Duty.
Right. So
+2 to shoot when fulfilling my duty feels a little bit too broad because
yeah,
well,
because you can define almost anything as fulfilling your duty.
Exactly, like well, I don't care if I miss when shooting at a deer or something. That's not relevant to the story.
Oh gads, they have gun kata as a stunt.
Yeah, but that's probably from Spirit of the Century or something like that.
No, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Uncanny accuracy. Once per conflict, stack an additional free invoke on advantage you've created to represent the time. Oh, you know what you could do? You could say that you can use more than one aspect on your shoot. That would
I'm
make
not going mechanically by that, so I'm gonna avoid it if you don't mind.
You don't like what?
I'm not convinced about the mechanics of that, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah, +2 when defending myself or others is not quite accurate, quite appropriate either, I think. Maybe when shooting against the suspect?
When shooting, +2 when shooting an escaping suspect, or?
Well, not an escaping suspect. That sounds incredibly bad.
Maybe something to take down instead of just like stopping the shoot so that they cannot get away. So like.
I mean, but that's too exploitable, I think, because I can say, yeah, I'm shooting at this guy to wound him instead of kill him. And
How about
yeah.
trick shot? +2 to create advantage when firing at an inanimate object. That would be like shooting something to fall into somebody.
do we have to do something else apart from this? Just so you don't have to wait on me and I can take a look and maybe.
Oh, okay. I think this is getting close to the last little bit. I am thinking of trying to think of some situations, places, things that are around town. I do know that there is going to be at least one restaurant, Japanese restaurant with a totem pole outside. And yes, it's a Japanese restaurant with a totem pole outside. But
Why, of course there is.
I think we're getting close to the end here. We just have this last little bit. If you don't have to take a fourth stun if you don't want to.
Yeah, I want it though.
And you don't have to make it a shoot stunt.
Yeah, that's true.
But you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could actually make it a fight stunt.
Yeah, that's another option.
Backup weapon?
Backup weapons. Oh, a holdout gun. Holdout. Oh, there it is, backup weapon. Whenever someone's about to hit you with disarm, situation, aspect, or something similar, spend a fate point to declare you have a backup weapon. Instead of a situation aspect, your opponent gets a boost.
That would sound logical.
Yeah. Let's see. Defending others. When someone is attacked physically while within your zone, you can spend a fate point to redirect that attack to yourself. You may then defend that against that attack at +1. You did say about breaking up fights.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Look up at the very top against multiple opponents, fight stunts, one-man army. Whenever you are physically attacked by a mob, opponents in that mob do not get a teamwork bonus to their attacks.
What about once per physical conflict, when you succeed on an arm attack, you may place the aspect stun on your opponent with one free invocation?
That works too. What's that one called?
Stunning Fist.
Stunning Fist. That's going to be way down here, I think. Where is it?
It's under special moves, or you can search for it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works for me as well. And that means you have succeeded on an attack, which means you did damage.
Yeah.
And you place stunned on them, which is an aspect, not a boost. And you don't have to succeed with style. That's actually pretty powerful, because that basically says once per conflict, you can create an advantage and attack in the same action.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We can just leave it be, and I'll try to think of something and bring it next session and say, what do you think about this aspect, or about this stunt?
Right. Okay.
Are we going to use like weapon ratings and armor ratings and that stuff like in present?
No. It's going to be flat based off of how many shifts you roll.
Okay.
More scary that way.
Oh no. the weapon rating is a good way of making things very lethal, very
But
easily.
then, if you take the weapons, then you might take the armor, and
Yeah, like
it
if you
becomes
double.
numbers.
You see, the way I'm going to represent things might be having different, more dangerous attacks is by increasing, making the difficulty to defend against them higher, or giving them a stunt. This, like they have a stunt saying claw, so they get a +1 bonus to attacks.
Yeah, sure.
But that's how I'm kind of using weapon ratings, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's different, and obviously this is Fate, so there are many ways of doing things.
Many dials.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. Like I like that when I read Fate.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept.
Yep. Okay. So that's the case. I think we're going to be doing it. Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to say that the tourist time, because this is kind of mountains, the tourist time for this is probably getting closer to winter because skiing.
Oh, that's an interesting twist.
Yeah. So we're going to get late. We're probably going to be doing this in late autumn, and probably at the issue of trying to wrap it up before tourist season starts. So that way we can also have weather issues like snow and and other such things. And
Well, tracking is easier, but also tracking is scarier.
yeah, and also it gives me the opportunity to have outsiders inside causing trouble other than just the monster or bad guy or whatever it is I decide to make it.
It's always the outsider.
Yeah, no, it may be a monster, it may not be a monster. I'm not going to give my tendencies away just yet.
Okay, so when should we meet again? That's
We're going to be probably meeting around Sunday.
Sunday sounds great for me, I think.
I think about 2 hours previous to now.
All right. Yeah,
Or
that sounds great.
if I'm going to be trying to play with Audacity, if I can't get it to work, we're going to be doing this again. Hopefully, it'll go better next time, since we've all done it now.
Yeah.
And after that, I will. If I can't get Audacity to work on Skype, then we'll be doing it on here.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the plan. So I will probably start. If I'm doing it on here, I'll tell you beforehand, and I will start it up before it is time to meet up. I always do. I don't like to try to trust Google Plus to get ready on a moment's notice.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So
You're too realistic.
Yeah. So I will have a good outline for this one shot done, and I have some basic outlines of the town and the name of the town and such like that. Iban, spend this time to choose your fourth stunt.
Yes.
You want or decide to keep the 3 refreshed. And name your character. And next time we come back, we're going to be going to a murder site. So, talk to you later.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yep. Bye-bye. And